There was the Surrealistic Pillow album. The following year, '67, there was After Bathing at Baxter's, followed by the live album, Bless Its Pointed Little Head, followed by the Volunteers album. The sheer number of recordings, of course, is far less than came out on Motown, but as far as the effect that it had on me as a performing artist, the band was as important as any of the Motown ensembles. And the bass player, whose name I found out immediately, Jack Casady, has had as much of an effect on my playing as James Jamerson. And I think now, so many years, so much treasure in the bank in the world of the bass guitar, I must pay homage to Jack for being, in my opinion, one of the towering figures in the short, but now increasingly comprehensive history of the bass guitar. There will always be opinions. I presented an award to, I don't remember now whether it was Chuck Rainey or Joe Osborne some years ago at a bass day. Somebody came up to me afterward, a player whose name I don't remember, but someone that I knew, and got angry and said, "You didn't mention Duck Duck." And I thought, well, this was my little time to say something. You should have mentioned Duck Duck. I think it was wrong of you not to mention Duck Duck. So anyway, I put this point of view across, although I'm sure there are many here who are not as familiar with Jack Casady or the Jefferson Airplane as I am, or any of the other bands and musicians from the 60s, let's say. And I will not be the first, I will not be the last to say what I'm saying here, but I do believe that it is necessary, even for those that aren't as informed as I am about this man, that Jack Casady be honored as one of the towering figures of the bass guitar. And future generations will consider this, and I'm sure they will agree. As far as an original conception, well played, superbly applied, there have been few players with the kind of originality and power as Jack Casady has possessed and still does. It's important to remember that the Jefferson Airplane was very much a concert band. They were extremely loud, very bold, and if you listen to the live album, Bless Its Pointed Little Head, you can hear that no apologies need be made to the impact the band must have had. And I did get to hear them live on 2 occasions. So rather than continue on saying the same thing, let me just say that I honor Jack Casady as one of 3 primary mentors in my life as a bassist. It's Jack Casady, James Jamerson, and the French modernist composer Olivier Messiaen. Messiaen and Jamerson are both gone. Jack Casady remains, so I have the thrill of being able to present him with this award while he is here to accept it, and for him to enjoy the honors that we delivered to him in person tonight. So, enough from me, let me bring out Mr. Jack Casady. And with him, the lead guitarist for Jefferson Airplane, a man who I just met for the first time tonight, and who I remember growing up thinking was a very intimidating looking individual. I was always afraid that if I met him, he'd say, "What do you want, kid?" Or something like that, but he turns out to be a real sweetheart of a guy, as I had always hoped. And his name is Jorma. As the Grateful Dead evolved into Riders of the Purple Sage. Jefferson Airplane evolved into Jefferson Starship, a separate project, and Hot Tuna. With various combinations of support players. But anyway, this is the heart of Hot Tuna. And once more, please honor my mentor, Jack Casady.
I started playing guitar at age 12, and I met this guy through my older brother at age 13 and a half, I guess, around 1957, 58. And it's really interesting. I was talking to somebody down the stairwell. We started out in clubs like this, and here we are today, 53 years later. But first, I wanted to say this is really humbling, and it's great. I've always wanted to be a musician. I always loved music since I first discovered it around 3 or 4, I think I remember. But when I started playing at 12, I knew somehow this is what I wanted to do with my life. And at a time when I don't think that thrilled my parents at all. But later on, they got on the program with it. But, you know, I have to thank my dear wife, Diana, who can't be here tonight. She's been very ill, and she's recovering. And, you know, musicians get themselves in a lot of trouble in their career. You can. It's pretty famous business about that. But the last 22 years we've been together, and my pal here can attest to this. When you find somebody in your life that helps ground you, it just makes everything better. It makes you play better, it makes you think better, it makes you a better human being. And I love her dearly, and I dedicate this night to her. And I have to thank my dad, my mom. My dad actually, he was a dentist in Washington, D.C., and he played tenor banjo and guitar in the late 20s while I was still in college and dental school in Washington, D.C. And that's how I got into the music. I found this Washburn guitar. Lord, I wish I had that guitar today.
I bet you do.
Yes, nylon string guitar. And I started messing around with it in the attic of our home that Jorma's very familiar with. And, you know, you think you're a kid, your parents don't know what you're doing, but anyway, the guitar disappeared somewhere, I guess around, you know, November of 1955. And at Christmas time, 1956, I went down to the tree, you know, or two brothers. And there wasn't too much on the ground, you know, packages for Jack, you know, just looking around. But there was an envelope on the tree, and it said, "This entitles you to 12 guitar lessons." And we had your guitar strung with steel strings, but it's not ready in time for Christmas. But here you go. And so that really jump-started my whole career right there. So I'd like to thank my mom and dad, and I'm sure they're right up there somewhere. That's it. That's about it. Let's go play some music.